everybody. This is another episode of the Wiser Future Podcast. I'm Lamar Lee.
I'm Kent Lee.
And we are back again, man. It's good. It's good to be back, D.
I like the way you said that we, because last time, man, I was by myself and I felt like an orphan.
You
man.
did good. You felt like an orphan.
Yeah.
You did good, though. You did real good.
Yeah,
I was really proud of you, though.
Well, you can imagine how Batman felt without Robin, It just wasn't the same, It just wasn't the same.
I'm a Batman fanatic, too.
But we breezed through it, though.
Yeah, you killed it. You killed it. So I hope y'all been doing good, man. It's good to be back again. As you can see, we got the new setup in here, and I'm super comfortable right now. Like, I really am. My dad, he's the mastermind behind the whole studio and the setup stuff, and he got it looking good up in here. We got the royalty chairs you can see right here. So I'm feeling like a king right now.
Well.
You see my dad hat? King. But yeah, so we got a few topics we want to talk about. I want to go ahead and knock this topic out the way, man. Everybody, rest in peace to Aretha Franklin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, rest in peace to Aretha
Queen
Franklin,
of Soul.
man. The Queen of Soul, legendary. That's before my. Did you used to listen to her back in the day?
Yeah, man. I mean, back in the day, but Aretha and I was, as I said one time before, the staple singers. I mean,
I love the staple
They had these little juke joints hot, man. I'm telling you. They had them hot. I mean, that was when music was music. I mean, you could hear it, enjoy it, dance, talk. I mean, you didn't, have to hear the threat of being killed or shot.
And see, that's the thing, like juke joint music and like that music from back in the day, like you could go there and like, okay, like if you listen to the music, and that's crazy because our topic for today is influences, which is crazy how we're going into this. The type of music and the stuff they talked about in the songs, you won't really worried about nobody coming in there shooting up the place.
No. Every now and then, you have a little breakout fight, but it was nothing to the extreme as it is now. I mean,
my generation,
a brother might have had one knife or one gun, but now, man, when the fight break out, this brother got 10 or 15 guns.
The songs now are telling you. There's a song that a dude just released, and the name of the song is called Beep the Club Up.
Oh, man.
F word the club up. Now, why would you want to go to a club where they're playing a song telling you to tear the club up?
But you know what, though, man? You got a whole lot of young people that have that thug mentality, and they feel like they got to be thugs in order to fit in.
Yeah.
And then they get their favorite rapper that comes out. And
right.
I mean, I got nothing against rap music. I mean, to each his own. But I think we need to clean up the lyrics a little bit that it don't influence our kids. We always talk about we for the neighborhood and we for our kids, but nevertheless, we are saying things that makes our kids go buck wild. I mean, come on.
And see, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, if you're listening to that type of music, that's the only type of music you listen to. You're pouring that into your psyche, your subconscious. Like you're pouring that into yourself. So when situations come up, you're going to react with the stuff you got built up inside of you. That's dangerous.
You know why all that is so? I mean, because they so much that makes up a person. You got on, as the Bible call it, this earth suit. In other words, it's not anything that's going to live. This flesh is not going to live. It's going to, when it go to the grave, it's going to stay to the grave, and that spirit man going to rise and live on. So when you got things, music, anything that gets inside of the inner man, it's a permanent effect. So what we have to realize that, the enemy, which is Satan, knows exactly what to do and how to fix it up in order to get into our subconscious. Because the subconscious is where all of this thing takes place in it, and it causes us to react in a strange way. Right. And while we on the subject of influence, we have to realize that music is one of the things that influences us.
Big time.
Bottom line, Satan. When Satan was in the kingdom, Satan was in charge of music. The brother could sing. I don't even mean to call him a brother because he's not a brother, but he could sing. I mean, he knew how to hit those notes and so on and so forth. And one thing you have to realize in the influence of music, when the country people hear the country music, first thing they want to do is go out and buy a beer and start drinking. That country music just makes them want to drink. I mean, if you know anybody that listens to country music, you can talk to them. Cause me and my partner at work, we talks about that sometimes. How it just makes you want to go to the they call them bars, we call them clubs. It would make you want to go to the bar, the honky tonk or whatever, and get a beer and drink. Okay, the rock people, they listen to that deep guitar sound that's in it, and what that does, it makes you want to. And I'm just going to tell you about experience because I haven't always been Kent the man of God. I've been Kent the thug. So
hold on, what?
Yes, sir, brother.
Kent the Thug.
Kent the Thug.
Oh
yeah.
man.
That's why.
I never met him.
That's why. Well, you're right. It was before your time. It was before your time. But yeah, I being a black boy, I was considered strange because I basically listen to rock music.
I like rock music.
Yeah. That's another chapter right there. I smoked pot and I done some of the few other things back in the day. And I'm telling you, when I did that, the type of music that I want to hear was rock and roll. So rock and roll will influence you once you get into your drug scene. It will influence you more to want to do drugs.
The funny thing about that, Dad, I like Pink Floyd and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing
one of my
is,
favorites.
Pink Floyd, it's crazy. The type of drugs that the artists use, the people who use those drugs are drawn to their music.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because you can listen to Pink Floyd and you can tell it's psychedelic.
Oh man,
you can tell it's psychedelic.
Brother, there've been so many nights. My brother and I, Dickie. I got a brother named Dickie. Man, I mean, there've been so many nights we just sit out in the yard. Of course, Mom always would come out, cut that music down.
So she didn't like that music.
No, man, she didn't like no type of music, not loud. And man, so we sit out in the yard. We listen to Pink Floyd, Boston, Bad Company.
Right.
Oh man, you name it. Led Zeppelin.
This
Don Henley and Hotel California. We used to listen to all that.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Like that.
And once Pink Floyd got into that deep guitar scene, man,
It'll fry your brain.
That pot that we were smoking, that Red Bud Columbia, it will crank you up. I mean, it would just crank you up and it just put you into another zone. And those are the things that the enemy has come up with to influence us in what we do.
I agree with that.
And get down to the black people, we listen to that the rap music and not rap music, some of the R&B, whatever. Some of it make you want to go out there and make a baby. You might well tell the truth.
It does.
Make you want to go out there and bump and grind.
There's a you know how Spotify had a playlist?
Yeah.
These rascals got a playlist. It got a playlist called "Baby Making Music." And you click on. You know who the first person is?
Yeah.
R. Kelly. It's the first one. But the funny thing about that is, when you look at R. Kelly now, and you look at like the allegations that he had for messing with younger women, his music is sexually based. Yeah. So it's not far fetched to see him doing these things because in the type of music it influenced you to do certain things. That's why, like I was just telling my mom the other day, like I have been on a music detox this past week. I have been driving in my car not listening to anything.
Yeah.
Just been like I really
That's
been
me every day.
I've really been wanting to. Because I've been reading I'm back reading my Bible a lot now. So I'm really just been wanting to tune in to God. Yeah. And I found out that it's hard to tune in to God when I'm lending my ear to other things. You know what I mean? So so lately I just like to drive my car, my radio down, and like listen, and so I can hear what God is saying and where He's leading me. Because that's a prayer that I pray every morning. Yeah. I pray that I ask for God for opportunity to put me before somebody, and He'll speak through me. But if I'm not listening to God, if I'm playing, because when you cut the radio off. And this is the crazy thing is the first couple of days with the radio off, I still was singing and humming songs in my head. You know what I mean? Like I'm driving, I was up with the bottom of my head, one of the music playing because I'm programmed like that.
It's programmed to stick with you.
Yeah, it is.
It's supposed to. You can find yourself in the bed at night, and there might be some music running through your head. But I thank God though that I've been delivered off of that because I prayed a prayer years ago, said, Lord, not let me be influenced, using that influence word again, let me be influenced with the people that I be around, because you got some people just gonna talk and they're gonna curse like a drunken sailor.
And it can rub off on you if you're careful. Now it can. I don't care how strong you are. Yeah. If you stand around, that's one reason why I always been like a loner like I am. Like I see people in spurts because anything I'm around, I'm a sponge. Anything I'm around long enough, it's going to affect me. It's going to affect me. If I'm hanging around somebody that cuss a lot, I'm going to cuss a lot. If I hang around somebody that do bad stuff, if I hang around long enough, I'm going to do it. And I can't be like that.
Well, I understand that. But my prayer years ago was, to ask the Lord to filter my ear not to hear that. So someone can be around me cursing, and it really doesn't even enter into my hearing because I don't even hear it because I believe of the prayer, and I don't want to take part of it. And one thing I've learned, too, about influence, he who has the strongest influence is the one that will win the influence battle. So you have to be careful who you keep company with. There's a scripture that Michael used to say a lot when he was young. They that hang with wives will be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. That is so true. You have to be very careful who you hang around with. You know what I have never understood? Why come good people always, and this is girls and these is guys. You know, say for instance, you got a friend. Why do we always pick the worst people possible to be friends with? I mean, there are so many, I believe in that, that saying is birds of a feather flock together. So if you hanging around with someone that don't really care what they say, what they do, like you were saying, you end up being the same way. But why do we choose those types anyway? I believe those types are meant to be in our midst after we has gone on. The Bible said when we have gained strength, go back and strengthen our brother. So I believe when we have gotten to that point in God that we can be leaders and bring those people out of those situations, then it's always good to hang with those situations.
I get you.
But you can't be in a situation that you're not prepared to go in and come out of. Right. It's just like Jesus. Jesus, people could say what they wanted to about Jesus, how he was with the sinners and the prostitutes and all. But he was about a mission. That's what we got to be about. We got to be about a mission. So when you come in contact with somebody, you got to be the right type of influence. You can't be, okay, well, dang, he's talking about what I used to do. Man, that sounds good. And then all of a sudden you get the entertaining thoughts that you had back in the day when you did some of the similar things. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful. You got to keep those things at bay. You can't, like the word says, he that look back is not fit for the kingdom of God. And that is so, because sometimes when we look back on the things we used to do, it can just, you've done some things that was good, and you constantly wanted to continue to do them back in the day. So now once you've been delivered, you don't need to look back on those things, because what it does is it is influencing you to get back into the same thing. All of a sudden you're going to hear a certain song and you're going to think about that girl that you were with.
And that's why I'm a firm believer that the origin of things matter. Like when it comes to music, like Mr. Jimmy was saying one day, he listened to a song on the radio and it had a Biggie Smalls beat to it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like intention and origin is important, because like some of the music they put in church nowadays, being a keyboard player, like next thing you be in church doing like this, you be like, and it ain't for the Lord, it's just that the beat is tight.
Hey, one of the biggest songs back in the old juke joint era was a song called Juicy. Dun, 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 dun. Now Kurt Franklin is notorious for using those type of music in his song, and what he does, you're not listening to the words he's saying. You listen to that beat because you remember
that song, "Lovely Day He Stole."
Yeah,
lovely day.
Yeah,
lovely day.
yeah.
Out in,
Bill Withers.
And see, the funny thing is, I heard that song. I heard Kurt Franklin's song before I heard the old song. So I remember I was working at Food Line one day. Food Line played the old joints. I heard "Lovely Day" come. I said, "Oh, they play Kurt Franklin here." Yeah. And then it messed around being the '70s song. I was like, "Yo, I said Kurt Franklin stole that." Yeah,
but there's a lot of it going on.
Yeah,
a lot of it going on. But
tying all that in, we was looking at I'm just looking at some clips of Aretha funeral, and it was 7 hours long, which was crazy to me personally. That was crazy. It was more so of a showing and a concert to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That was on her scale. Black folks around here now, you can look to do 2 or 3 hours on a regular black folk. That's not even famous. And that's because everybody wants to do a solo. I ain't never figured this one out. You don't know nothing about this person, never went to visit them, never
but got you on the program to sing.
But I want to sing a solo at the funeral. Oh man.
Seriously, they had about 7 solos. 7 solos. And they said the funeral was 3 hours behind schedule. And look, it's everybody that she wanted there, so that's the only reason why I kind of give it a pass, because she made requests for everybody to do that, but they was changing the clothes in the middle of the funeral. I'm just saying, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. There's no way I could have stayed awake in that.
All that does is make the funeral bigger, It's fine. It's fine. The Bible said, "Give honor to whom honor is due."
That's true.
But nevertheless, man,
it became a show, though.
When you start getting some of those in there to honor you, and honor's honor, but if it was kind of churchy, some of them I wouldn't approve of. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't approve of.
I ain't gonna lie, like the Ariana Grande girl, she can sing. I'm talking about she can sing, but I wasn't feeling the dress that she had on. Number one, it was really short and it was cleavage.
Hey, somebody was feeling it because of the way she looked. Somebody was feeling it.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody was glad to see it. Somebody, I like that, like 2 candy 50 cents.
I bet you Bill Clinton eyes was like that. He was out there he was out there in the pulpit.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm not even going to touch that because I ain't want to get no letter through the mail saying, "Oh, you slandering." No, I ain't touching that. But lust is lust, no doubt about it. Lust is lust. Man. But myself personally, I wouldn't want to been in any funeral where your focus is on what somebody's wearing.
I don't need that temptation while I'm in church.
I don't need that. I don't even need it out of church.
Nah. That was crazy, but but listening back at Aretha, it was good to see that it was a churchy program. Though I do appreciate that. They had a praise break in there and everything. So even though she sung the type of music she sung, she did have a church influence.
Oh yeah, she did. Like you said, she came from the church. Her daddy was a pastor.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a pastor. She came from a church background. Most of the singer does. They come from a church background, and then the yearning to earn money kind of sort of switched them over. Especially when you got someone so, oh wow, you sound as good. If you stick with me, I can do this and that. It sounds good to somebody that's broke. That's another thing. That's another influence situation. Sometimes the money overrules principles. For sure. I remember that in my like the last job I had, like the last 9 to 5 I had, like I used to feel bad every day because we made prison mattresses. We made prison mattresses and contraband for the prison system. And I remember it got slow one day, and the lady said, she said, we ain't getting a lot of orders in. We need some people to get locked up. You know what I mean? Like seriously though, that let me understand that it's a business. All morals is out the window. We need people to get locked up so we can have more work. And then every day after that, I felt so guilty going in there because she wanted more people to get locked up so we can have more business. I'm like, man, that's not it somebody's expense. Man.
I'm like, at what point do you put your morals first and do you put your standards first just to chase a dollar?
But that's just the whole thing about the word influence, man. I mean, that word influence can run a lot of things, man. I mean, it can really mess your mind up, because the things that some types of influence can bring. You take a pimp, for instance. He loves money, so he what he wants to do is get influence with the women, get into them and find one that don't have a place to stay, no food to eat, and man, then they get in with him, then they're gonna be influenced enough to do anything that he wants them to do because hey, I got a hot meal.
You know the funny thing about that? I looked at a documentary on that, and the ones that make all the money it's not the pimp, it's the women. But he's influenced them to bring the money to him. And he's managing all that. But see, their mind isn't strong, so they don't understand.
They thinking is, okay, I got a place to live. And I got something to eat. So I got to go give daddy the money. But that's just our thinking. Bottom line, a lot of them got the fear for their life though. You let them try to go somewhere and make that money themselves. They dead for dark. And Tim Morton can say they'd be graveyard dead.
Graveyard dead.
Yes, sir. So but influence is kind of a tough thing. I don't know. When I was smaller, my mom, she always would tell me things that I couldn't do, and I never understood it because my brother Dickie and all of them. I mean, they got Bible things. They could go out and hang with older folks and older guys, older cousins, and nothing would ever say it. But my mama would never let me get involved with that. And I didn't wonder, and I believe that she saw more in me than I saw in myself. Because
for sure.
Because of where I was heading, not where I was at, but where I was heading. So she didn't never let me get into those things. And later on, I heard the story that that she knew they was good in me, so she didn't allow me to hang around certain things. But my brother. Man, I mean, at a young age, this cat was, he was live, man.
Wide open.
Yeah, he was wide open stuff. So, influence is, it's just one of those deals. And just like every one of us on an ordinary day, we have someone around us, and we really don't know the details of what we should do with our influence. But now is the time to influence somebody else other than to be influenced, because we're living in a time where, I know we've been saying this for years that Jesus is soon to come, but I know he's mounting up. I know he is, but the Bible said no man know the day or the hour in which our Lord cometh. And I can't say that I do, but nevertheless, we have got to start getting on the positive point and start influencing people to, to give their life to Christ and end up all this crazy stuff. I often thought, myself personally, when I used to see the entertainers that was out there doing everything that you can imagine to make money and to be famous and be known and all this kind of stuff. But I noticed here, this is one thing I've noticed, and some of y'all about to do the same, because some of these same entertainers are influencing you to do the thing that you're doing that's not right. Mm-hmm. But I noticed one thing about the entertainer, once they get into a certain age, as an old age, or get sick, next thing you know, they're crying Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, I'm saying hallelujah, glory. So you know what? See, for them, some of them same rappers that might tell y'all that they ain't no God and don't serve God, those are the same ones that's looking for them as soon as they get old and feel like, end is coming for them. I was looking at this show the other day with this famous guy back in the day. I mean, I'm not going to call his name. Y'all know once I say what I'm going to say, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, everybody thought that he was a little fruity. As a matter of fact, he had a song called Tutti Frutti. I know y'all know where I'm coming from now. You know who I'm talking about. Oh. But he carried himself in that manner all his life. Now, he's saying he's delivered and he's saved. Mm. Now he's old. Mm-hmm. Now he's trying to live the right way. He's not tutti frutti and all that stuff like he used to. And man, I mean, it's just amazing.
Like what you're saying with the influence, like you just have to think about it the right way, because it can get dangerous if you see the influence you have and you start doing stuff from a place of ego, and from a place of self. You should never do things where you will get the glory. That is never good to do. You want to make sure everything you do that God is getting the glory. That's why as I've gotten older, when I play the keyboard now, I'm not with all the compliments and with all the people boasting me up or saying, "Oh, well, you sure can play that thing," because that's not why I play. I don't play the keyboard so I can sound good or get in the church jumping. No, I play to give for God's glory. Like every key I hit is a personal thing between me and God. So the influence that I have with people, like I want to make sure that I'm never, when I'm talking to somebody, I'm not. That's something I'm learning too. I'm actually learning this year in 2018 is when I talk to people, I have to be careful with the I and what I think and putting my opinion off on people. Mm-hmm. Like now I'm trying to get from a place where the Holy Spirit is speaking through me, and I'm also speaking from a place of Bible based, and I'm talking about God, shining the light towards God, because I don't need to be shining the light towards me, because I'm a broken man. I sin, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to shine people towards the light of God, the only thing that actually keeps me going. So I just be careful when you are influenced, because everybody that's listening to this podcast isn't some broken down person who need information. There's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of business owners. You want to make sure stuff that you're doing is not always centered back towards you with the I. I'm always weird when somebody I was talking about what I can do, or when you ever had to talk to somebody then when you have a conversation, you start telling them what you're doing, and they'll interrupt you to tell you what they're doing instead of listening. Yeah. Or there's some people they can't do that. I'm like, yeah, man, other than I went there. Oh man, I've been there before. They always throw themselves into the thing. So right now, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not one of those people who's always pointing the light back towards me, or I'm always trying to get the glory. I want to make sure God getting the glory, because ultimately that's the influence that I seek for. That's the influence that I need, because the one of the loneliest feelings in the world to me is being disconnected from God, or feeling like or not hearing His voice, or going to have you ever been to a church service and it was just dry up in there? I felt like that 24/7 before, and it was my own doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want to get back to that point. That's why no matter where I go in life, no matter what goes wrong, or if sometimes I can go the wrong way, I gotta repent. I have to turn around, because God's influence is greater than anything I can do myself. God's favor is greater than anything that I can do myself. It puts me in positions, put me around people that I know I couldn't do myself. You know what I mean?
Your intentions got to be positive.
Got to be
like
pure.
You said. You always keep this in mind, the domino effect. You got to be that first domino that tips the rest of the dominoes.
Right.
So whatever you want the rest of the dominoes to do, you got to begin.
That's true. That's true.
You got to begin. You got to do the first fall before the rest of them fall.
The last one can't fall to the first one.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's real.
But far as the church, we all know that anything that we do in God, we can always do it as a group, no doubt in my mind. But when it gets down to be personal, it's an individual thing.
It's an individual
So
thing.
you don't go up in a church and decide that this church is dry. It's only going to be as dry as you're allowed to be, simply because your worship is personal. Your worship is your worship. Your deliverance is your deliverance. So you don't be influenced about somebody else. Okay, they sitting over there not getting into it, so I'm gonna do the same thing. If you go in there and you think about God has done something for you today, then you spark that fire. You go ahead and be glad to show somebody what you've been through and how God brought you out and stuff. Because we all got a story to tell, and we all has a documentary, a personal documentary that we know what we came through. I mean, cause man, I can think back. This is 2018. You know, in the year that I was born, I mean, things wasn't as plenteous as it is now. You know, you barely seldom got clothing back in the day. You barely seldom got shoes back in the day. We shared a lot of that thing. So now to know where God has brought me from, and I can just think back years ago, man, I mean, just thinking about far as finances, man, how much I was making back in the day versus what I'm making now. I mean, God has been very, very, very good. And saying that we say sometimes he's been better to us than we've been to ourselves, that is a true statement.
Man, that's the truth.
Because God, he really has brought me a long way. And man, I'm telling you, like you were saying earlier about, the music influence, you play now because it's a personal thing with personal, you and God. 100%. But I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'll tell you when you're playing good, because, there's a certain way you play, certain things you play. I mean, to me, it's about listening and meditating on it and letting it enter into me. And as it enter into me, man, I can sit there and just, man, venture off, man. I could be in the Swiss Alps, man, be in Craven County, be in the Swiss Alps.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Because when you sometimes you go on YouTube, you chop in the instrumental, they'll have the background going that goes along with the music.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Yeah. I feel
that man. I'll tell you, but one thing. I never allowed y'all. I mean, you're always gonna have your own agenda, but I never allowed y'all to be influenced too much by anybody.
I agree.
And then when it got to a point in life, there was a time when I had to let go and let you guys experience life for yourself and see some of the things that was told to you.
Right.
What it meant, because I'm telling you, there's somebody out there ready to influence you. Old saying is, if you don't stand for Jesus, you'll fall for anything. And there are people that has been called out to be waiting on that corner just for you to come out there so that they can influence you to a point that you won't have no positive feedback into society. The enemy knows all the greatness in each and every one of us.
Right.
He can't dictate a lot of things, but he knows the greatness in us, and his job is to hinder that greatness from coming forth. That's why sometimes some of the wrong peoples are placed in our lives for friends, for best friends.
Right.
Some of them that will rob a glass eye of an old woman.
And nothing breaks my heart more than seeing, because I'm thankful that I have the spirit of discernment. Nothing breaks my heart more than to meet somebody and see the spiritual potential that they have, but they're not using it in the right capacity. Like one thing I'm so happy about is that God directs me towards people to influence them in the right way. Like right now, like one of my best friends right now is Greg Boykin, and I've known him for a long time, and he always just been something always been different about him. He's always been a leader, and he always been a spiritual person. And he tell me this all the time, and I don't never take no glory for it. He be like, Lamar, man, he said, I'm so glad you come in my life, man. Just the words that you give me and stuff that you say to me. He said it means more to me than you know. And my whole thing is I'm here because you got work to do for the kingdom. You got work to do for the kingdom. Your influence and your power. There's souls out there who's waiting on you to walk by and waiting on you to say the right thing.
That's the key. That's what I'm saying.
Waiting on you to say the right thing. It ain't got nothing to do about how many likes you can get for saying something. It ain't got nothing to do about how cool you look. It got something to do about you can draw more souls and you can save more people from doing the wrong things, because God has blessed you with the ability to captivate.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have that ability. Some people can say something brilliant, but if nobody's captivated or listening to them, then it's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
He's a special dude, and he has this ability to captivate people just normally. He has intellect, he's articulate, and as long as I'm his friend, if I see him going the wrong way, I'm gonna say something to him.
Yeah, you gotta bring it out.
I'm gonna say something to him. Not that I'm perfect, but it's just It's just that he got a calling on his life.
Yeah.
He got. And I'm talking about there's another guy. Shout out to Murph. There's another guy at the barbershop there. Like I was telling you about him the other night. Met him just a couple of days ago. We finally got a chance to talk. I always like to finally get a chance to talk to somebody, see where they at.
Yeah.
When I tell you this brother is word based, I'm talking about it's rare I meet somebody that young who knows the Bible the way he knows the Bible. And I'm looking at, and I'm sitting there thinking, I had a moment of thanks. I'm just like, man, I said, here I am. Like, he just got to the barbershop. I said, here I am, trying to be in Greg's life and do the right thing. And he got somebody right across the seat from him that every time you talk to him, he gonna throw some word up in there. And like stuff like that makes me grateful to know that the people that where I am right now in my life and the people that I'm around are spiritual and word based.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'm most thankful. That's when I'm most thankful to God. That's letting me know that I'm at the right place at the right time, because the people that are searching for God, people are searching for Christ, are together. 2 or 3 gathered together. We right there in the room, out there, grown black men, young black men in a room in the studio talking about the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most beautiful thing I can see. And so what's how the saying go? Iron sharpen iron, or steel sharpen steel. How it goes? Something like that.
I ain't too familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's
but
iron sharpens iron. Like in order to make a sword, you make it out of the same material.
Yeah.
So having people around you that can sharpen you and that can elevate you is important. Why are you hanging around someone who can't help you get anywhere?
That was my point earlier.
Yeah.
You know, that seems to be what we do.
We do.
You know, we waste time, and like I said one time before, the Bible said we have to redeem the time for the days of evil. So, but we rather spend our time with somebody that's not going anywhere than to spend it or be around somebody that can lead you to somewhere.
Right.
You know, and there ain't no need of whining and complaining when you are not where you're supposed to be. It's the path that you chose. Choices. And everybody have their group of people that they have to win over for the Lord.
Right. That's right.
God has not designated me to witness or water or plant to the people that you got to.
Right.
So the main thing is, you know, once we wake up those that realize that they have a calling on their life to go out and do this and that, you know, they can't go out there and do it, because if your job is to plant, my job to water, that means we got to come in contact to the same people. Mm-hmm. But not necessarily mean that I got to plant and water.
Right.
So those that have that ability have to be talked to. They have to realize the potential that they have in Christ, that they can go out and gain something for the kingdom. Because, man, there's a lot of people that's dying by the wayside because nobody wants to take on the task of being that prime witness or that God-led witness to them. And I just say this: keep on continue to doing what you're doing, man, because God is going to reward you. This is not going to go without being seen. God will see you and bless you. I can honestly say I think it's already so, because of all the things He allowed you to get into, and man, I mean, you blows my mind sometimes with how you do things. Man, here I go. All my life I had to have a job doing things. You got a job, don't get me wrong, but you're doing what you want to do. You're doing what you feel good at doing. And man, that's a blessing. God opened doors for you. And I can remember when you were younger, when you made that comment. I mean, I don't want to work for nobody in their job. I said, then I didn't really see
you like, boy, you gonna have to work one day.
Yeah, I really didn't see where you were coming with that. Yeah. Like, at that particular, I said, man, you gonna have to work. It's the only way you can get some money. But man, God has worked out.
Yeah, He really has
everything for you, man. And that's one of the things I've always preached to y'all boys, man. Always keep the favor of God on your side.
And that's like the other guy that I work with at Roseboro Mechanic Shop, like I do all his tech work, like his website. Mm-hmm. He's another brother there, like he's a keyboard player. He played the keyboard for his church. I'm talking about his name Nate. Shout out to you too, Nate. Nate will call me there and he'll ask me about a Bible verse or he'll send me a scripture or something like that. Like just about all the people that I do business with there they at least have a foundation of God. You know what I mean? Like Nate's a real good friend of mine. Yeah. And of course AJ. You know, of course, AJ, he was raised just like I was raised, our foundation of God. So I really believe that, like my mom always say this, I really believe that every job I have, the job ain't why I'm there. I feel like it's undercover for me. And that's another thing. That's why I can't stray so far away, because I do know that my purpose is my purpose. I know I can't stray far away, because what if I was just on doing business? What if I was there just worried about the website? What if I want asking them the right questions or sending them scriptures or tapping into the soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could be people. Those are the people that I'm supposed to be planting seeds in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if I won't doing my job?
God will make room for your gift.
Right. That's right.
No doubt, but
right.
But that's one of the toughest words that you ever can hear, though. The word influence, though. I'm telling you,
True.
You know, I mean, we got a choice every morning we wake up. We can either be good for somebody or we can be bad.
That's right.
We can be happy or we can be sad. That's all a choice you got to make when you come up. When I wake, I want to know that I'm going to have a positive influence. I know, yeah, sometimes I have my bad moments. Yeah. Sometimes I may not be the easiest person to deal with. But at the end of the day, I have a good heart and I always want what's best for everybody.
Right.
But sometimes, you know, it may not always work out that way. But that's always my goal, is to wake up and be happy and make sure everything around me, like my job.
You got a choice to do that.
Yeah, my job, man, I try to make sure that I'm with everybody. I make everybody smile, or I always got something going on. Mm-hmm. And man, to me, it means a lot, because now, you know, people, I was just thinking about this yesterday. One of the cafeteria managers, I went and talked with her and stuff, and I was just thinking, before I got to know her over time, over the years, man, she was, as we say now, a piece of work. I mean,
she was a mean cafeteria lady.
Man, yes.
I used to love cafeteria.
I didn't know how to take her, man. But now, over the years, been working with her, talking with her, and yesterday, I mean, she is a good person. And I told her, I said, we ain't worrying about Aretha Franklin's funeral. I said, as far as I'm concerned, you the queen. and man, and that means a lot to me to see that change that she come forth with, because I always thought that she was a kind of a mean person.
Right.
But she's sweet.
That's nothing. Really, like sweet. You can't write people off.
No, you can't.
And you just can't write people off. Like it took you some time, and now you probably can joke with her like you know your whole life.
I do, man. I can probably say I enjoy what I do, because you know, I know there's an influence that I'm bringing on people, and
for sure.
And I continue to be that same way every day. You know, and I'm not just saying older people, but the young kids. A lot of the young kids look forward to, I guess, me crossing my path every day, you know, because of the positive things that I bring. And one thing I know in that county, people need love. Them kids need love, and they want to know that someone care.
So they really want it. They really want it too. Like you can notice it here. They're really thirsty for their attention and love here.
Yeah,
for sure. And you definitely give it to them. I know all my homeboys loved you back in the day.
Yeah, man. I you know, I always try to be available, man, for kids, man. You have to be, man. And two, man, I got so many books I got to get out to the overseas countries, man. That schools don't have books for learning. It's all of our job to make sure that the world get educated. You know, and here we go, America. We are some of the most fortunate peoples you'll ever come across. We take things for granted, and as he just said, we're wasteful. We throw away more books. Some country even
ever get in a lifetime. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm trying to do something out there, you know, and I know I'm taking on this as myself and all. I'm not asking nobody to donate anything to me to send out for book. If they do, fine. They don't, fine. But it's all of our jobs to make sure that everybody get their first share of whatever it is to offer in the world, education, food, you name it. Because we are blessed, man. We are blessed. Yes, I know there are people in this country that is less fortunate, some that are starving, some that are not learning, but we all got a right to go out and try to help seek those type of people out.
Right.
Main thing is to get out and seek them out and make a difference, man. Because I'm telling you, man, it's bad to be under a bad influence. You know, be around somebody positive and stuff. But
right.
man, I'm just blessed to be, and I think about it a lot, man. I could be born in a country that don't have food, don't have jobs, man. But the Lord blessed me to be here, and I'm just so happy. And every opportunity that He gives me to help somebody, I'm going to try my best to make sure that I help them. You know, in you know, we all got to be helpers of one another. That's what the word says, and that's what we all got to do, man. But good influence is good to be in the midst of, and I don't really think y'all boys hung around guys that weren't any good coming up because, I mean, like I said, I never had to go to jail, get in there.
Like honestly, I've been around. I've been around some killers. I've been around some real good people. But the difference between me was like if I'm around the killer, I'm still Lamar. I'm still talking about the things I like to talk about.
Yeah.
Like I'm still shining my light.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like some of the roughest people, some of the roughest people in every city that I ever been in. I have been in the mix with some of the roughest people, some of the nicest people. But my light was shining wherever I go. Like y'all gave us strong enough foundation where we were out. Well, this with me, I wasn't influenced easy because you know me when I was little, I didn't want to do a lot of stuff that everybody else was doing.
No, you
like,
didn't.
I didn't.
You didn't.
And I'm still the same way now. Like I have my own mind. Like I'm not easily influenced. The thing that can easily influence me the most is me and what I allow to come into.
What you allow.
What I allow to come into.
Right.
So
right.
I have to put a block. One thing I got from you. Sometimes I have to be an extremist when it comes to, and that's another thing. Sometimes in life you have to cut stuff off cold turkey. Like me every now and then I'll just get mad and cut the radio off. But like, why am I listening to this? Like I just get mad to cut it off. Like I do. I'm crazy. I just get mad. Like no. I just drive there in silence and think. Like Kiana was telling me the other night. She was just like, cause she go to sleep in the car a lot when we drive. And I said, baby, you go to sleep all the time when we get in the car. She said, yeah, that's because most of the time you be thinking when you drive. I thought about. I said, yeah, I do. I just had the music off. I just sitting there thinking. That's when I get my thinking done the most.
Yeah.
When I'm on a long drive or something like that. So. You know, just be careful what you allow to seep into your mind, y'all. That's the theme of this thing. Like we just saying this from experience. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Perfect, but I just know. Be careful what you allow into your mind. Be careful what you read. Be careful what you watch. Be careful what you listen to. Guard your spirit, man.
And who you hang around.
Yeah. Please do, because when you gossip with people, you're taking their bad influence and you're spreading it around to everybody else. No, like when people come to something you know it ain't positive, cut it off right there.
Yeah, that's right.
They might can tell it to you, but cut it off right there. Don't give it to the next person.
You ain't nobody trash can.
Nah. Like my mom said, she said gossip is like dirt. All you can do is spread it. So, you know, just be careful who you around, man. And that's basically our show for today, man. Just influence, be careful who you're around, and be careful what you listen to, and just guard yourself at all times. Like if you want to grow, then throw some water on it. If it ain't water, you don't need it.
Yeah, keep this in mind. One beer will lead you to a 6-pack.
For facts.
And one 6-pack will lead you to a fifth of liquor.
DW.
So that's right. And then you be caught not getting around. Then you better have some Uber money. Yeah, exactly. But be careful who you hang around because you got people that don't mind drinking, and if you know that you wasn't born to be a drinker, don't hang around people that drink, because sooner or later you can say what you want to after they continue to tell you that you're weak, you all this and that. Oh, you can't handle it, you can't do this, enough to push you to start drinking. But that ain't what you need to do. Trust me on that. I mean, because I've been there and done that, and now it's been years and years and years and years and years that I've been partake with any kind of alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or whatever. I don't need it. I wish I'd have knew that back then, but now I know I don't need it, and you don't need it. So find you some good people to hang around that can lead you, that you know that can help you, that you know to help you get to that next plateau in your life. So
and another thing, we just want to make sure we do you know the email by heart? I want to make sure we give them the email so they can send in some stuff. I think it's WOT. Never mind, I ain't about to mess it up.
Wiser Future.
Oh, see.
It's Wiser Future at WOTOutreachMinistry.com.
Yeah, we'll have it right here at the bottom of the screen. Like we just want to make sure you guys take their email and submit some topics, or even submit some stories that you have so we can expound upon it, you know, things that you're going through or things you want to talk about, things you want insight on, because we're basically just trying to be a good influence to people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's not the fact that we think we know everything, but we just want to take things and put positive energy towards it, and we want to point out the bad energy out there so you guys won't have to go through some things that me and him been through. I'm a young man, so I know what you young people going through. He's an older man. So he's been through the things that I'm going through. So we're really just having a conversation up there. And we want to encourage you guys to subscribe on YouTube. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and just so whenever we do upload stuff, because we back in the mix now. We was off for a few weeks because my computer was all jacked up, but we got everything back up and running now. So we're gonna be hitting y'all with content. So and if you subscribe to these things, as soon as we post things, you'll get a notification so you can check it out.
And make sure that you share.
Yeah, like and share. Yeah.
And I want you to get this too. Send us in if you got some kind of concern. You got a topic that you want to know something about. You don't even have to even give your name or whatsoever.
Yeah, sure. We won't say nobody's name.
Even if we know who you are, we never will.
Never
will let people know who you are. So just send it in, and we'll cover that. Cause him and I we'll pray about it, and God will give us revelation upon it, and then also we'll make sure that we do our homework and getting you the right and proper answers that you need for your questions and your issue. So there are no topics that's too deep. There are none that's too shallow for us to cover.
And I'll put our phone number and our email address right here on the video, so you can find a way to get in contact with us. Like I said, we're on everything there is. So anything else, D Money?
Man, I mean, this kind of sort of got the rust off me. Like you said, it's been a while. It's been a while, except for when I did the one by myself. But nevertheless, man, I tell you, I felt like, dang, should I just let him talk and I go to sleep? I mean, it's like, it's like anything that's worth doing. You got to continue to do it regularly.
For sure.
You got to do it regularly. Yeah, practice does make perfect. And I'm glad we back into the studio today. But I'm telling you, man,
we got more stuff. We got a lot more stuff coming out.
Yeah, we're gonna have some.
But this is just one thing that we're doing. Like I ain't gonna say too much here, but we got just be on the lookout soon. This is just one thing that we got doing. We got a lot of different services that has nothing to do with this. It's all gonna be a servitude for you guys and things that you may need with your businesses and stuff like that. But we'll have another video, another advertisement for that. But just stay on the lookout, man. We got a lot of things that we're doing. And it's not for our glory. At the end of the day, everything we doing is so you can be a positive influence. We can be a positive influence, and God can get the glory. Because in order to get good, you got to be good. You got to put out good.
Say that again.
You got to put out good energy. So that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to spread good energy and find good people and help them and serve them in ways that they may not have or the capacity that they may not have. Because luckily, like my dad had a vision. And he had a wallet, and he got a lot.
You still got. But I got the wallet.
And he had a vision, and his vision, like he got top of the line studio quality equipment and work for advertisement and for people that need these things. But like, let's just be honest with you, it costs a lot of money to do these things. So you may want these things, but you don't want to spend all the money on buying all the equipment to do it. Well, you don't have to. Right. That's what we're here for. You just sit back and you tell us what you need. And like, I do graphic design, web design, building, commercials, all that stuff. And we have all the equipment here to interview you and get you down. So that's the thing about businesses. Like you may have a business, but sometimes there's a disconnect where the people don't understand what you're trying to do or they don't understand the motive behind the business. Sometimes, and I know it's hard when you're running a business, but sometimes you have to take the time to sit down and explain your vision. Because when you explain your vision, there may be a lot of people out there who want to support or who has the same vision that you have, or may know somebody that can get you there. But in order to get that, you have to explain yourself and explain your vision. You have to write the vision to make it plain. But
there you go.
You also have to speak it into existence.
Yes, sir.
And we have a platform where you can speak things out into existence, and so the right people will hear you. So that I didn't mean to do that advertisement in the middle of the podcast, but I thought
that is fine. I mean that is fine. I mean I'm glad you did. Because like I said, we are dealing with sites that you talking about. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people listen to and look at. So
for sure.
Once we come in and do something for you, you're gonna be exposed to people, and they will, actually get your idea. Because there's so many people that's in your church neighborhood, for instance, don't know what's going on in your church because they don't visit.
That's true.
They don't visit. They don't hear anything about it because most people don't talk about the services after the service. So
they go to buffet.
What we want to do is give you pastors, you evangelists, give y'all an opportunity to come in and just explain what your vision is and what you're doing, what's going on,
Right.
and what you have to offer. Because if they don't know what you got to offer, they ain't gonna come running. They're not gonna come. So get it out there.
You just got to be open. You got to be open and upfront with people. Like nowadays, nowadays people are really searching for the truth. Like they really are.
Yeah.
And if people explain your truth, if people know your truth and they align with you, then that's perfect. But if you don't explain yourself, how they gonna know? They can't. You can't expect. Now it ain't like the old days. People aren't just walking in the churches on Sundays like they used to, or people aren't just walking in the businesses. What people do nowadays, when you tell them the name of your business, they pull out their iPhone and they type it in on Google, and they want to see all the information about it, and they want to see the reviews, and they want to see everything. My girl, she ain't going to no restaurant till she seen the menu, till she seen the pictures, till she seen what 13 people had to say about it. And so it's the same way. It's the same way with everything nowadays.
Yeah.
So the more content you have out there for your business and whatever you got going on, the better you can bring people in. So that's just one of the things that we're doing. But we'll cover all that.
And not only that. I told y'all before how Lamar is good with websites and all
TV
that.
commercials, anything.
See what you got to do. We can do you. Wiser Future can do you, but if you don't have a website for your church, he can create one for you. And
your business.
Every video that you do, he can have it uploaded on your site.
For sure.
So you don't necessarily, we're going to put you out there on our sites and all, but you have your own personal, say if you have your own personal Facebook account for your church, bam, all they got to do is get on that account, brother, and they can see every message that you do.
Mm-hmm. That's important. That's important because social media, the world is evolving when it comes to how they receive information. It's just the bottom line. Like, if you just putting your stuff in the newspaper, then you way behind the ball. I haven't read a newspaper,
especially depending on me to read it.
Right. Who gets newspapers anymore? If your stuff is not online, then you way behind. That was good right there.
Yeah.
But y'all, we about to get out of here. We just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and make sure you share everything.
Share it, yeah.
If
so
you like
someone
what
else can get an opportunity.
Right. And we'll be back with y'all very soon, so stay on the lookout. I'm Lamar Lee.
And I'm Kent Lee. And remember, send in those requests for shows
emails right here
that you want us to cover. Wiser Future at WOTOutreachMinistry.com. I sure hope I said that right. If I don't,
I'm gonna have a type.
He got my back.
I'm gonna have a type.
Yeah, but anyway, send in those requests of subjects and topics that you want to cover, and I promise you, we'll not let you down. Amen. Because we can get here, we can talk about food, but we want to talk about something.
Definitely talk about food. For sure. I love to eat.
Really. But anyway, that's a wrap.
Yeah, so it's the Wiser Future Podcast, and we out.
Peace.